Welcome everyone to another deep dive. Today we're looking into the Chinese zodiac sign of the horse specifically. What kinds of jobs and working partnerships really suit them best?
Yeah, it's fascinating how understanding those core strengths, the ones you're kind of born with, can really guide career choices.
Absolutely. So we'll explore suitable jobs, who they work best with, maybe what to avoid, and even some tips for navigating the workplace if you happen to be a horse.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. The core characteristics of the horse. What really makes them tick?
Good place to start.
Well, they generally have really strong reasoning skills, quite open minds. They're known for being quick, very responsive.
Uninhibited, maybe.
Lively.
Exactly. Uninhibited, lively, often very frank, and quite eloquent speakers, too. So naturally, they need jobs where they can actually use all those talents.
Right. Sounds like they need space to really shine. But like anything, there must be potential downsides.
Oh, for sure. That same quickness can sometimes translate into impulsiveness. They can be a bit capricious, maybe go to extremes sometimes. Okay. So that could lead to career bumps.
It can, yeah. Which is why developing perseverance and patience is really key for them. Learning not to just give up when things get tough,
Sticking with it. Got it. So, keeping that in mind, where do horses typically find success? What kinds of jobs?
Well, the astrology points to a pretty wide range, actually. Things that require that energy and an initiative. Think adventurers.
Adventurers. Okay,
Yeah.
that fits the lively ends.
Yeah. Or writers, architects, maybe sharp businessmen, performers certainly, entrepreneurs.
Scientists, artists.
Scientists, artists, politicians, critics, even tour guides. It's quite diverse, showing their adaptability.
Let's dig into a few of those. The artistic field, what makes that a good fit?
It seems to be their sharp sense of art, but also this sort of dual nature they can have. It fuels deeper thinking, more creative ideas. It's like an internal dynamic that sparks innovation.
Interesting. So it's not just the outward energy, but an inner process too. What about politics? That seems intense.
It is, but their resourcefulness, especially in emergencies, is a huge plus. That quick intelligence, insightful thinking makes them well suited for roles like politicians or even sharp critics.
Thinking on their feet in high-pressure spots.
Exactly. And then in, say, commercial fields, their talent isn't just strategy, it's also their people skills, connecting with customers, communicating well with colleagues.
Right, the interaction side.
Yeah, plus they often have good planning abilities, which obviously helps in business. It's a good mix.
In tourism, that seems almost tailor-made for their energy.
It really does. Their enjoyment of playfulness, that energetic vibe, it works well. But, tourism isn't just about being fun.
True, there's logistics involved.
Right. It needs thoughtful planning, good coordination, organization skills, things horses often have an advantage in. So roles like a tour guide can actually be a pretty natural path to success for them.
So fun energy backed up by solid planning. Okay, so on the flip side, are there jobs that horses should maybe steer clear of?
Generally, yeah. Anything that's very monotonous, repetitive, lacking change, given their positive but also changeable character, that kind of work can feel really painful.
Stifling, I imagine.
Completely. It just doesn't let them use their full potential. They need that stimulation.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Aligning the work with their core energy. Okay, let's shift to teamwork. Who are the best collaborators for a horse?
Okay, so astrologically, the signs that really stand out as great partners are the tiger, the sheep, and the dog. Working with any of these is said to really benefit a horse's career.
Tiger, sheep, dog. Interesting combination. Why do those work so well?
Well, the thinking is they often bring complementary strengths. They might balance out the horse's impulsiveness, perhaps, or amplify their natural talents. Like the dog's stability could be a good counterpoint.
Grounding influence. Okay. And are there partnerships that are good, but maybe need a bit more effort?
Yes, the snake, another horse, and the sheep again, but maybe in a group context. It's suggested that perhaps all three working together might be needed to really hit their stride.
So a more complex dynamic, potentially. Needs more conscious effort.
Could be, yeah. It implies a need to maybe strategically leverage everyone's strengths within that group.
Got it. And then who are the challenging partners, the ones to be maybe cautious about?
But the rat and the ox are usually highlighted here. With the rat, it's often down to pretty fundamental differences in character, temper, values, potential for friction there.
Okay, and the ox.
With the ox, it's more about differences in thinking and doing things, just very different approaches. So the general advice is for horses to maybe be a bit careful when considering working closely with rats or oxen.
Right, clashing styles or values can definitely make things tough.
Yeah.
So for a horse themselves to be happier and more effective at work, what should they keep in mind?
Well, you know that frankness and energy we talked about?
Yeah.
And their strong personalities, leadership qualities.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can mean they maybe dominate discussions a bit or don't always pause to really hear out others' opinions.
So they might steamroll a little, unintentionally.
Exactly, and that can alienate people. So the key advice is really about learning a bit of self-control, some restraint.
Tempering the enthusiasm.
Pretty much. And making a conscious effort to patiently listen to what others are saying. Also, respecting advice, especially from, say, elders or more experienced colleagues, that can really help build better relationships and lead to greater achievements.
Balancing drive with collaboration. Good advice for anyone, really. Can we look at some real-world examples? Famous horses whose careers might illustrate these points.
Sure. Let's take Joe Biden, the 46th U.S. president. He was born November 20, 1942, which makes him a horse.
Okay.
And his career, senator, vice president, president, it's long, it's varied, and it's firmly in that political circle we mentioned as being suitable.
Decades in high-level politics certainly suggests an ability to navigate complex, high-pressure situations.
It really does. Another example. Shinzo Abe, the former prime minister of Japan, born September 21st, 1954, also a horse.
Right. Another major political leader.
And again, a long and very influential career as prime minister. It fits that picture of horses excelling in leadership roles that need intelligence, strategic thinking, guiding a nation.
Leading a country for so long definitely takes a specific skill set. Interesting connection.
Yeah, it kind of highlights how those core horse traits, the quick thinking, communication, resourcefulness, can really play out effectively in demanding fields like politics.
So wrapping up, it sounds like horses have this potent mix of brains, energy, communication, skills that open doors in many areas, especially where they can lead or engage intellectually.
Exactly. But the key is harnessing that amazing spirit while also cultivating patience, real collaboration, and being genuinely open to what others bring to the table.
Understanding those tendencies, both the strengths and the potential challenges, seems crucial.
Definitely. It empowers you, if you're a horse, to make smarter choices about your career path and how you build those working relationships.
Something for all of us to think about, really how our own traits align.
And, if you are interested in digging deeper into your own personal astrological chart, we've put a link in the description for a personalized reading.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We really appreciate you tuning in and look forward to our next exploration.
Thank you for listening. Until next time, and God bless.